So, boys and girls, the word of the day is toxic. You're a toxic, gun slipping under. I don't know the words. Anyway, Britney Spears, she sings it. It's the taste of your lips I wanna ride. Anyway, we're not talking about toxic love addiction, although that can apply. But that word has come up 3 times today. So whenever I hear or see something repeat repetitively, I think, oh, that's a topic for my Facebook. And today it's toxic. Because just like the word narcissistic, we seem to be hell bent on thinking everyone around us is toxic or narcissistic or self absorbed or mean or any other number of things that I don't know about you, but I can be, right? And here's the deal, it's not that there aren't toxic people out there, and it's not that I can or can't be a toxic person, but this idea of toxicity, it's like, think about toxic way back when, before we started using it as a modern hip word to define a way to better point blame at other people. Toxicity was like poison, right? Now, we're not talking about something that you might imbibe or something you should stay away from, like a chemical. We're assigning that meaning to people, and we're calling people poisonous. And the funny thing is just like, if I was to pick this up and there was a toxic label on it and I went to drink it, I would poison myself. We also, in fact, reach for that toxic person. We engage with these toxic people. We set ourselves up to keep like ingesting toxicity from people, really like on some level. And I don't think any of this is bad, because what I think is the funniest thing about life is that most of the time when I get myself in trouble and I end up in pain, I walked right into the situation with my eyes wide open, but I couldn't really see what I was seeing. Or the truth is I couldn't see what I ended up seeing. So in the beginning, either I saw some things that might have bothered me or I thought were toxic, but I passed it off or I minimalized it or I thought, oh, it's no big deal. And I think that's the part of humanity that's generally benevolent and accepting and loving. Like you see stuff about people and you're like, oh, it's not a big deal, or they're just human, or they're probably nice and just had a bad day. And then 3 months later, you're like, if I don't get away from this motherfucker right now, I'm probably gonna stab her in the side of the head with an ice pick. That's what happens sometimes when you get to know people. You want to stab them in the side of the head with an ice pick. Now, some of you may find that a little extreme. I've never actually went and grabbed the ice pick to stick in the side of somebody's head, just to be clear. And I'm not psycho. But what I'm trying to explain is the difference between that part of you that's hopeful and nice in the beginning and that just minimalizes someone's bad behavior. Most of the time also because you're not in touch with your intuition is what I would say is to blame for that, which is really nobody's fault except maybe yours sometimes because you haven't done the spiritual or emotional development work to really understand that sixth sense part of you, which, if you ask me, is the most important facet of my being, my sixth sense intuition. Not my brain, not my heart, not my empathy, not my intelligence. No, it's that sixth sense intuition that in the very beginning of the interview or relationship, I'm kind of like, ooh, I don't know about that. And then I go, stop, Nicole. Stop being so judgmental. Stop being so crazy. Stop being so weird. And then I end up 3 months later, ready to go grab the ice pick. Okay? So what I'm stating is the extremes where I pass off and minimalize behavior. And then this other time when I'm kind of like up to here with it, because I'm sort of like not wanting to blame myself for not seeing what I didn't see. So the easiest thing to do is to blame somebody else and start calling them toxic and narcissistic and stuff like that. So I could find a way to think that they are my problem and that I need to get away. Now, that's not that you don't need to get away. Here's the problem, is that like when I'm not really fully in myself and I don't really understand the way that world works and abundance and how I'm magnetizing things to me to learn about myself, I really do actually think it's the other person's problem. And when I think it's the other person's problem, the solution is that I need to get away from that person. So here's what happens when I start calling someone toxic or having a problem with them. I wait. I go through the phases of feeling angry and resentful, and I wait. Because I want to work through that. I want to work through the energy. Life, the universe, God, whatever you call it, is giving me an opportunity to look at another situation in my life where I give my power away by becoming crazy emotional over stupid shit, right? So by sitting with it, by trying to accept this person, by practicing unconditional love, prayer, meditation, different ways of communicating, emotional intelligence, I might actually end up being okay with them, but I'm still going to end up leaving, right? I might end up okay with them and I could stay, but most of the time I'm right about my sixth sense and I do need to walk away from situations that make me upset because here's the thing, my peace of mind is priceless. There's no amount of money that you could pay me to actually be unhappy engaging with somebody or working with somebody. It's just not worth it, so, and for every door that closes, another one opens. Wednesday. Wednesday I closed a door. Today a more abundant one opened. How great is that? Hope you're experiencing miracles like I do in my life. And if you're not, we need to talk because I want to help you live a miraculous life. Because I hate to tell you, most of you listening to this right now are kind of like half living and not exactly as happy as you could be. I'm always around. Nicole at Nicole Devlin. Have a good weekend.